Hello everyone, welcome to ASN Code Lab. So in the last video, we have started with the ABAP 7.4 version syntaxes. So we have just discussed like what's its necessary, why we want to use the new syntax, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of that. So in this video, let's start with the practical knowledge. So let's see how or what are the syntaxes which are newly introduced in ABAP 7.4, and what does those syntaxes or operators or expressions will perform. So coming to our first syntax, CONV type expression. So what is this CONV? It's a constructor expression used for explicit type conversion in ABAP. So we generally use CONV hash and expression, or CONV the type, what's the data type, and the expression. So hash is used when you know its data type is known. That time you can use the hash symbol. Otherwise, you need to explicitly mention the type here. So the hash symbol is used as a type in inference placeholder, meaning ABAP will automatically determine the target type from the context. So when you use the conversion hash, convert the value to the input parameter type. That is converting from int to string type. Just an example. It may be some other types as well, but here if you see, like, int type is compatible to store the data to the string, but reverse way is not possible. So your 1 2 3 or any other numbers can be passed into your string type, but you cannot pass your sentences like this is a test data that cannot be converted into integer type. So that's all about the CONV. Let's see how we can utilize it in our coding and what's the syntax of it. Quickly, we'll shift to our editor. Let's since it's a ABAP, cloud ABAP project, we will create a class quickly and then try to execute the conversion operator, conversion expression, how it works. So jet conv jet cl underscore conversion type, conversion type explained. So let me click on next. So click on finish. Okay, I we forgot to add the interface here. Let me add interface if underscore oo class n, and let me also implement this interface here in the implementation method interface main and method. So we need to insert it under public section, not under the create public. So let me save it. So here let me call another method, set underscore data, returning value, and this I think we should use methods. Yes, so returning value, and the variable lv return is of type I. Let me take it as a type integer. So lv return method set underscore data and method. So LV return equal to 1 2 3 4. So we are just returning 1 2 3 4 as a returning parameter here. So what's the error? Set data. Okay, sorry, set data. It has to be set data. Okay, now we have our main interface method. So here what we will do, data of LV val value 1, or let's take it as value, equal to set underscore data of. Then let me try to print the data, right? And we will print here LV value inside the bracket. Okay, control S save, then control F3 activate. So let me keep the console in the next right hand side. So now I'll try to execute this class ABAP application console. So now you can see 1 to 3 is printed. So what we did, we created a method of returning type parameter and we added the value 1 2 3 4. And here simply just we called the method and added the data in 1 2 3 4. So that itself we printed back. So here now if we want to convert this 1 2 3 4 into type string or into type of float, so how that can be done? So let me do one thing here. I'll show both. First, data of, I'm using again, this is also one of the new syntax itself. You'll get to know uh, in during the inline declarations, you'll get to know in that slide in much detail. So for now you can just maybe like, let's see on the conversion hash. So data of LV value 1. So let's take LV value 1 and then try to use CONV hash LV value. So if I try to do this way, so we saw the hash operator here and we have used the inline declaration as well. But if you see that it says no type can be derived from the context for the operator CONV. Why this error comes is the data of LV value 1 is also a dynamic here. It is not defined with any type like data it's of type I string or something. So it doesn't have any type here. So when we are telling the target entity whatever its data type is there, copy that, it is unable to find the data type here. That's why the error comes. So if I say explicitly like type string, so now you can see the error is gone because we are saying convert this LV value into type string and send it to the LV value 1. So let me activate the class. Let me also clear the console here. Now I'll execute the class again. So now you can sorry, I think I missed the print statement here. Let me add the print statement. So LV value 1, clear console, execute the sorry, activate the class. It's activated now. Let me run the class. So you can see 1 2 3 4 is printed. Since it's a string type, it will take any kind of data, right? So it is integer also fine. If it's a string or decimal also fine, it will just take the data because it's of type string. So this is one of the usage of CONV. So along with this, so if you say, if you want to, the main another purpose also is like, if you want to convert it into the type of integer to the float, that can also be done here. So same way, nothing much difference. So data of LV value, I will make it to, here also I will make it to, and here I'll give, let me let me do it maybe in a different way. Instead of converting here, let me take it in a variable data LV float is of type char length 8 decimals 2. So you want the field variable with, sorry, not P, C, I'm really sorry, this is P here. So we want variable with the floating type, and that that should be of length 8 and decimal 2. So now LV float, what we can do is LV here, LV float equal to LV value. So let me do conv hash the LV value, and let me print LV float. So what we did, we already have LV value, that is 1 2 3 4, that I declared a variable of type decimal or a floating value. So that one I utilized, and I converted the integer type to type P here. So let us see here what happens. So let me clear the console, execute. 1 second, let me click inside here and then execute. We'll get a ABAP application console. So now you can see that it got converted into float type. So with the decimal 2 we have declared here. So with the decimal after that, two zeros are added over. So this is the purpose of using CONV operator. So this this is fine, but there's sometimes, usually developers get confused when actually to be used CONV in some cases, because in some cases what happens when they're trying to convert the matner or purchase order number, some sales order numbers. So what happens is, the matner, old matner length is of type 18 and the new matner length is of type 40. So what they get confused here is, like, when they're converting the 18 to 40 character length, they just try to use conv, and they think that the length of the variable gets changed. So that is not true. Here you are converting the type of the variable from, say, integer to float, or or any other variable type to string. So this is possible, but you cannot change the length of the variable. So that's the concept where when we come to our slide, so we have something called as alpha. Alpha is again a conversion routine in SAP ABAP used to convert values to and from internal SAP format by adding or removing leading zeros. So it's mainly used for the key fields like material numbers, customer numbers, vendor numbers, etc. Used to convert to the leading zeros alpha with in, if we use, and converting leading zeros to remove the preceding zeros alpha with out. So this is the purpose. Let's see how this alpha can be utilized and why we should not use CONV there. So let me clear this. So now we can, what, let me do one thing. Let me comment out these right statements for now. So that let's only focus particularly on alpha, how it's converted, how it's converts by adding zeros or by removing the zeros. So say data LV Matner is of type C, length 18. Similarly, okay, let me make it Matner. Similarly, I'll take Matner long is of type C here, 14. Save. So let me also pass value 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18. Yeah, so it's of length 18 now. And let me say use LB Matner long equal to LV Matner. So I'll use the out statement. So I'll just print the Matner long here. So what we are doing, we declared two variables, one with the LV Matner of length 18 and another with the length 40. So if I try to execute this one now, so you can see it is printed with the whatever value was there in LV Matner only. So now let me do one thing, that is, let me create one more variable. I'm creating so that the type is known and you get to know the difference instead of using the inline. So let me see LV Matner new. So LV Matner new equal to LV Matner new equal to CONV hash LV Matner. We'll paste this one. Okay. So we are converting Matner 18 to Matner 40. So let me paste it, activate it. Let me also clear the console and execute. So see, the first statement maternal long which we just copied, it got printed. Second one, I said my during my explanation, we are converting the LV maternal to the length 40, but that's not true here. So it will never convert into different length. Okay, so here it will convert only to the type, from like we used from into float and all, but it will never extend to that length. So for that, what we need to do is, if we not use this as well also, even just if I use this LV Matner long itself, and the our new alpha in and alpha out. So what I'll do here, alpha equal to out. So let me activate this now. So it's activating still. It's successfully activated. Let me clear the console, execute. Sorry, let me click here and execute. So now you can see only 1, 2, 3 from this total 18 characters got printed. So what we have used, out. So it says convert leading zeros to remove the preceding zeros. So it will remove all the preceding zeros and convert into only the actual value what is there in the variable, that is 1, 2, 3. So if I do similarly same sentence, what I'll do, I'll use in instead of out. So let me clear the console. Let me come back to the class, activate. It got activated. So let me try to execute now. So now you can see it got converted to the length 40. So here it's 18 and rest of the zeros, leading zeros were added. So this is how we need to convert the variable by adding the preceding zeros. So if we try to use conversion hash thinking that it will add the zeros or append the zeros, then it's false. So these were the use case of CONV and alpha. So I think that's it for this video. The rest of the operators or expressions what are there, we'll check it in the next video. Thank you.